Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp, MGI and the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected several high-grade gold intersections, including 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. Additional drill targets on the LH property have been identified by a 2018 drone airborne magnetic survey to further evaluate a pyrrhotite-enriched gold-bearing system. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Lobo Tiggre from the IndependentSpeculator.com. He's speaking to us from Puerto Rico. Merry Christmas, Lobo.
Merry Christmas, Jim.
As Santa comes sliding down the chute from last night, we're taking a look at what has happened over the past year and what we think might happen in the new year. First of all, Lobo, taking a look at the markets over 2018, what was your biggest surprise, biggest positive thing that happened?
Biggest positive? Well, the biggest positive thing that happened didn't necessarily happen to me, and that was the vanadium spike. Vanadium rising 500% over recent lows in 2018. I didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming, perfectly frank there. And I missed it. I did not profit from that, even though I did some interviews. And I do interviews on my website as well, Jim. I did interview some vanadium companies. Great stories. I didn't buy. And darned if those stocks didn't spike when vanadium rose so much. So, I missed that one. It was a big surprise. But it's, that's the resource sector.
For people who may not be familiar with vanadium, what is it and what's it used for and why the big spike?
The big spike was due to a new regulation implemented in China requiring a higher vanadium content in rebar. Vanadium's current major use is as a strengthener in steel alloys. So, China's a big market for steel. Chinese steel makers putting more vanadium in there. There was a fear of a supply crunch. So prices spiked.
Did anything else really stand out for you in 2018?
Yes, indeed. And the one that I did both call and benefit from was the uranium surge. Uranium prices were up about 50%, and I'm very bullish on those looking forward. You haven't asked about 2019 yet, but I know you will. So I'll go ahead and say I'm extremely bullish on uranium in 2019. And I think that's worth paying particular attention to because it's getting close to the price at which people start making money in the uranium mining business again. And so I think you're not just going to see proportionate increases in share prices. I think you're going to see vertical leaps in share prices, potentially in uranium coming ahead. So I'm very bullish on that.
Is that because China and a lot of other countries are planning to build atomic power plants again?
It is in part that. It's also in part, and by the way, whether they build them or not, the Japanese are restarting a whole bunch of their plants. The plan is to restart up to 30 of them, and that's a major change. And one of the things that happened was that when the Japanese shut all their plants down, we've got utilities losing money sitting on massive hoards, like decades of supply of uranium fuel that they can't use. So they started selling it. And they didn't care what the price was. They sold way under market, way under the cost of production, probably less than they could have gotten if they'd been a little more patient. But they didn't need the stuff, and they're hemorrhaging. So they just dumped this stuff on the market. That took uranium prices well below the cost of mining. Ridiculous, unsustainable prices. So we don't have to have this huge surge of new plants built around the world for prices to come back. Even if the uranium industry just kind of grows at a slow pace, as it has been, they have to come back anyway because the uranium is still necessary and you can't mine it at current prices.
We'll have more with Lobo Tiggre right after this.
MGX Minerals is revolutionizing the new energy economy with patented lithium extraction technology, replacing traditional solar evaporation using low-cost, low-energy nanofiltration. The first system of this paradigm shift technology is currently being commissioned. MGX Minerals trades on the CSE, symbol XMG, the OTCQB, symbol MGXMF, and Frankfurt, symbol 1MG. For more information, visit our website, mgxminerals.com.
I'm Kelly Jennings, CEO of Powerband Solutions. Powerband is a cloud-based provider of auction, inventory, and finance solutions that make buying, selling, and financing vehicles more efficient. Powerband Solutions trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol PBX and on the OTCQB symbol PWWPF and on Frankfurt symbol 1ZV. For more information, please visit us at powerbandsolutions.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Lobo Tiggre. Lobo, looking back over 2018, what was your biggest disappointment for the year?
I'd have to say silver. Silver and gold did okay, remained rage bound. People hate that. People, holding on, not going down somehow is not good enough in today's world. If things aren't going up like crazy, we're not happy. And maybe compared to the way Wall Street was going until late in the year, that makes sense. Holding on is not as good as gaining ground. I understand. That having been said, miners that make money at current prices make money at current prices. There's nothing wrong with that. So in that context, I've been hopeful that with the shift into the new energy paradigm and all the emphasis on not just the batteries, people keep focusing on these lithium-ion batteries. That's not the whole story. You've also got the vanadium batteries, and you've also got the solar panels, all of which consume a lot of silver. So I was hoping that we would see a bit more of a supply push on the silver side, and I was hoping that we'd see the gold-silver ratio, which remains at historic lows or near historic lows or highs, depending on which metal you put first. I was hoping we'd see a reversal. I was hoping we'd see silver break out, and we didn't. So the good news is, for anybody coming to it late, is, there's a good chance that may happen this year. And by the way, this could happen even if gold just holds on. It is not necessary for gold to be in a raging bull market for silver to go into one of its little mini manias. That helps. But since silver is a byproduct, if people start building more of these panels at these mega factories being built around the world and the supply becomes an issue, you could actually see silver take off well ahead of gold.
The storage of that energy from alternative sources, one of my regular interviews has told me one of the solutions might be taking a big tank and putting zinc in it and treating that solution as a giant battery, only it's the size of a big storage tank or even bigger.
There are a number of battery designs like that. I think the one that has sort of the best track record right now is the vanadium flow battery we've discussed in other shows. And I don't have the technical specs to compare it to the zinc battery you're talking about, but the vanadium ones have one of their strengths is that they last a very, very long time. Like, you can build one of these batteries the size of a truck container, you put a bunch of them together and make a battery big enough to power a city, and they last for decades.
Why hasn't there been more talk about it, or am I just not looking in the right places?
Well, it's early days, Jim. Actually, there have been more than experiments. This isn't just something we're talking about in theory. And actually, the design of these liquid batteries goes back to the 60s. So this isn't new. But until the power sources, until solar panels got cheap enough to where they become a viable source and the wind turbines get cheaper, until the supply became cheaper, then there really wasn't that much incentive to worry too much about the storage, right? If solar wasn't going to compete anyway, then the fact that you couldn't store the solar power for use at night didn't matter as much. But now that the cost of the panels and these other sources is really coming down dramatically, faster than many people projected as little as 5 years ago. I mean, we really are seeing a sea shift here, and that is making the need for storage more acute. So I do think we're going to see this accelerate going forward. I think it's just beginning. And that means there's time to build positions in good companies that will be poised to benefit.
Is Elon Musk one of the great leaders when it comes to innovation? He may not be, the most efficient car maker, but he certainly has some great ideas. And does that help inspire other people to look into these areas?
I think there's no question that that's true, whether you like him or not. It doesn't matter. He absolutely has inspired people. The fact that there are followers, right? And I don't just mean Twitter followers, but like Musk followers, that tells you the answer to your question. And I think it's worth pausing and really thinking about this for a second, because a lot of people get all hung up on Tesla's problems and Musk's own problems and so on. This is missing the forest for the tree here, okay? It does not matter whether Tesla goes bankrupt. It does not matter what happens with Elon Musk for the bigger picture of this truly paradigm shift into a new energy way of powering the world. I sincerely believe that cat is out of the bag, Pandora's box is open, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's a one-way street. People get it. People see the advantages. Free power from the sun beats burning, dirty, smelly fossil fuels any day. Everybody gets that. Everybody wants that. And the economics is now making it more and more feasible. So that's what's happening. I think it doesn't go back, and that has long-term and powerful consequences for resource investors.
We'll have more with Lobo Tiggre right after this.
Vadic Ventures Corp. is a potash exploration company focused on the Korat Basin in Thailand, the world's largest undeveloped potash resource. Vadic's management has extensive potash exploration and development experience in Thailand. Vadic will have marketing advantage compared to Western producers. Drill program commences this spring. Vadic trades on the TSX Venture, symbol VCV, and on Frankfurt, symbol V8V2. Visit our website, vadicventures.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Lobo Tiggre. Lobo, going into the new year, what do you feel is going to happen, and what would you like to see happen?
Oh, Jim, I once published an article with a red circle and a crossbar over a crystal ball. And my good friend Doug Casey, my mentor, my teacher, he likes to make predictions. So he always says, well, I hate making predictions, but here I go. I'm going to make a prediction. And so I hate being wrong, Jim. Doug doesn't care. He said so. He told me last time I interviewed him, he said, I've been wrong so many times in print, I just don't care anymore. Despite that, I'm not beating up on Doug here. He's willing to be wrong in print, but boy, when he's right, is he right in space. And of course, look at his net worth. So obviously he's right more than he's wrong. Anyway, what do I think is going to happen? I can say, well, we're going to see more volatility. Well, that's not a big prediction. The big variable here remains the trade war. And I honestly do not know how it's going to go. So I guess if you want to say it, my prediction is that the trade war will be important. That's not much of a prediction. But it's worth saying, because if it's resolved, the coil spring under resources and metals in particular will make your listeners and my readers very, very happy. If it's not resolved, that's a big problem. So I'm not going to predict which way it's going to go. I'm going to tell people pay very, very close attention to it, because this is absolutely the bull in the china shop here that's going to impact our investments. What would I like to see happen? I would like to see, Donald Trump. I have to say I'm not a huge fan, but I would love to see him succeed at pulling off a new deal with China that actually improves trade, results in freer, more honest trade around the world. He certainly has a point, Trump, that is, on the intellectual property issues. Everybody, Democrats, Republicans, whatever, everybody gets that really is a problem. And if the hostage taking that's been resorted to here actually pushes things, push comes to shove and it results in a resolution, I think that will be fantastic news. I think that will unleash a lot of money that's been on the sidelines, a huge amount of money that's been on the sidelines, and we're going to see a monster rally as a result. And that's an if, but if that's what happens, I think we see, a lot of happiness and joy for resource investors. But beware of the opposite.
Lobo, I hope Santa was generous to you and your family.
Yes, indeed, Jim. We're happy campers here in Puerto Rico, and I hope all of your listeners out there are happy. And the late Santa gift that I want to share to you is that there's still a few trading days left in the year, and there could be spectacular buying opportunities on great companies that make money at current prices or that have projects that make money at current prices, but because of market volatility are down for the year. And tax law selling in these last few trading days of the year could result in spectacular buys. I'm going to be looking at this in my own shopping. People can sign up at independentspeculator.com to see what I'm doing. But you can do this at home. You can, monitor the things that have been on your wish list. And if Santa missed some under your tree, look to these last few trading days of the year. You may get your wish.
Lobo, thanks again.
Thank you, Jim.
My guest has been Lobo Tiggre from the independentspeculator.com. He was speaking to us from Puerto Rico. You're listening to HowStreet.com radio. Find us on Twitter at HowStreet. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Questions for Lobo or any of our other guests can be sent to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Happy holidays.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.